So I started my DPhil through a Centre for Doctoral Training programme called OMBI, which is no longer around, but that looked at, it's between Oxford and Nottingham doing biomedical imaging research. And for my master's I was doing physics, and I thought I'd end up looking at this type of functional brain imaging. But one of the great things about CDT programmes is you get taught for around 6 months. It's a really good opportunity to meet different professors in the department and across the university actually. And the person I chose to do my PI in the end, Professor Nambaretti, taught one of our modules, and I really just fell in love with what her research was looking at and her as a person. And I got to do a short rotation project with her before finalising my PhD choice, and the rest was history. I just wanted to continue doing that. What we do in our group is build algorithms, mainly deep learning algorithms, to analyse ultrasound scans of a developing fetal brain. So trying to build these algorithms to extract more information from them than what we can necessarily see from the eye. And we're really interested in using ultrasound imaging rather than sometimes slightly clearer MR imaging because it's used globally for studying fetal development. So by building these algorithms into the most worldwide used imaging modality, we'll hopefully extract more information for places which need it the most. So during my DPhil, I was supervised by Professor Anna Nambaretti, who we had really close contact throughout my PhD, and we're now working together in my postdoc as well. We also had a fab lab. When I started, it was just other PhD students. We were quite a young group, but it was really good because we were able to share a lot of our tools that we were developing, as well as helping build an understanding. Something really key to our work though, because we work with medical data and try and extract biologically meaningful things from ultrasound scans, is working closely with clinicians. So we have a really good collaborators at the John Radcliffe Hospital in Oxford, and we work really closely with them, as well as international collaborators. So we work with clinicians and obstetricians in Leiden and in Utrecht universities. So a really nice group from loads of different backgrounds. And something that I've really enjoyed is we get to work with computer scientists to build these state-of-the-art algorithms, as well as clinicians. So you really learn how to talk to different groups of people and make sure the work that you're building is state-of-the-art, but ultimately useful for the community who need it. So I was really lucky that I had one-to-one meetings with my PI every week, and for me that was so helpful. I had no experience before really in coding in Python or anything to do with artificial intelligence, so these one-to-ones really made sure that I was going on the right path throughout my studies. And this was also really helped in our group. We did a weekly reading group where someone presented a paper they had read, and at first this was such a daunting task. I was so new and presenting something that everyone else knew so clearly, but it was a really excellent way to learn and really delve into the kind of topic of AI completely. I also really enjoyed doing teaching throughout my DPhil, and I thought by kind of forcing myself to teach other starting PhD students about deep learning and machine learning, that really forced me to learn the core essence of it. So I think being able to be involved in teaching is a really great way to ensure your own understanding as well. I think when I started my DPhil, it was quite cliquey, I think, for different groups, but it's definitely something that I've seen getting better throughout my time here. So now there's regular DPhil meetups, kind of a Friday meetup where different DPhil students can hang out and get to know what each other are working on, which is really important, as well as I know we have kind of ongoing seminar series, some hosted by Oxwox, where different professors, external and internal, come and present their work, which I think is a really important way to show everyone what people in the department and wider are working on. Something that our group's been trying to do as well is we have a reading group with another research group within the department, with Irina's group, and that's been really great to kind of share ideas with people slightly further away from what you're doing. And I know there's more efforts now in the postdoc to get postdocs to kind of meet up and present their works. I also think hosting things like they do an annual computer science conference is another great way to know what other people in the group in the university are working on. I think it's really important when you start your DPhil that you have a really good relationship with your main supervisor. So my main advice would be, before applying for a DPhil, make sure there's someone in the department that you really want to work with. You can do a lot of research about the professors, and also most of them have their own webpage, so find out what they're researching and make sure that's really of interest to you. And also, most PIs, or at least their postdocs, have time to respond to emails, so reach out and get to know what the group's like, what their dynamics like. Would that PI have time for one-to-one supervision if you think that's something you need? Reaching out to people. Everyone is kind of quite happy to respond to those emails, and to make sure that the environment that you'll be working with is suitable for you. And I think that's kind of core to a PhD to be a success, to make sure that it is like the right environment for you. So throughout my time in computer science, I've been really involved in the Oxford Women in Computer Science Society, where we try to promote and the work and network between gender minorities within our field. And I think my whole time there has just been the best. It's been such an amazing community of people, like-minded people within the department, to meet and become really good friends. Actually, it's my main social circle within Oxford as well now. As part of the society, I helped run a challenge club where we helped prospective students who were interested in applying to Oxbridge for undergraduate for computer science with the MAT exam. And that was an amazing initiative where we had kind of 17-year-olds joining in on Zoom once a month and go through these really tough problems. That was so fun to be involved with. And I also organised the Oxbridge Women in Computer Science conference last year, where we had kind of 200 students all presenting their work and a range of talks throughout the day. And it was just such a huge success. And it just makes, it's an amazing society, and definitely one to get involved with if you come to the department. I think my best memory from them is probably just, we do bi-weekly committee meetings, and it was just always so much fun.